Sea level rise troubles the Miami community.
Rising rent forces many people to take on a second job.
Students are graduating in 5 years with a bachelor's and a master's degree. This and more on Bayview News.
Hi, welcome to Bayview News. I'm Isabella Ojeda.
And I'm Colin Miller, and here are some of the top stories we are following today. Miami Beach gets a major makeover as the city works to restore the coastline and bring beauty back to the beach. But at what cost? Alani Batson has more.
Miami Beach is a city known for its white sand beaches and beautiful shoreline. But the legacy of this iconic destination has been threatened due to sea level rise and beach erosion. To combat this situation and protect developments against potential storm surges, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is unloading 61,000 tons of sand along the Miami Beach shoreline. This renourishment project will take place at 4 hotspots along the beach, starting at 65th and ending at 27th Street. Construction started on January 2nd and is expected to continue until June 5th.
Florida is kind of a leader in how much we do, how many projects we do, and close to the top in how much sand we actually put on the beach. So, that's kind of like a maintenance thing that's been going on. And it can be effective because it keeps the beach pleasant and so forth. So that can be effective, but it just becomes so expensive, especially with having to truck it in from so far away nowadays. If you could get the sand locally, it'd be much more viable than having to bring it in from as far as Miami Beach is having to go right now.
Until then, residents and visitors have been asked to use caution while using the beach as trucks carrying tons of sand enter and exit the construction zone.
We rely on having beaches that people want to come and recreate on. Miami Beach is really the most important revenue source for the state of Florida.
Budgeted at $16 million, this renourishment project is the price the city has to pay to keep its coast looking beautiful and in a healthy state. This is Alani Batson signing off with Bayview News.
With sea level rise threatening South Florida, gentrification is moving into Little Haiti, and the locals are experiencing the consequences. Nicholas Sanchez reports the impact.
Climate gentrification is something that affects many areas of Miami. But in Little Haiti's case, it comes in the form of 5 large letters that spell out magic.
Little Haiti is filled to the brim with history and culture. It is a deep dive into the lives and experiences of the Haitian people. But it is sitting on some of the highest and most valuable land in Miami, as rising seas are pushing new developments inland.
Lots of displacement. Small businesses are being rapidly evicted, displaced from the community. So it's an overall displacement, cultural displacement of Little Haiti.
New development has caused the people, like Chilier, to worry about the future of their businesses.
I actually helped my wife at Mimi's Vegan Bites and Juices here in Little Haiti. We used to have the Little Haiti Thrift and Gift Store. We were told after 5 years that they weren't going to renew our lease unless we wanted to pay $4,800, which we used to pay $25,000 for that same spot.
The median home value currently sits at $325,000. Last year, it went up by 5.3%, and real estate websites predict they will rise another 4.4% by next year.
It's being gentrified. Most of the Haitians, I've been moved further north to North Miami Beach, and it's happening. It's happening.
Here in Little Haiti, Nicholas Sanchez with Bayview News.
People are coming together to restore Florida's natural habitats to help fight the effects of climate change and sea level rise. Sam Marsh investigates how the Biscayne Bay Coastal Wetlands Initiative helps the South Florida coasts.
These are not landscapers. They are volunteers taking part in the Biscayne Bay Coastal Wetlands Project, an initiative responsible for restoring South Florida's most important natural habitats, its coastal wetlands.
If everybody just kind of came and did their part, did a little bit of cleanup here and there, then this place would be, as it's intended to be, and that everybody can come out and enjoy a natural habitat as it has been for, hundreds of years.
The volunteers are working here at this site, the Cutler Wetlands component of the project. It's one of 3 sites that together will increase the amount of freshwater flow into Biscayne Bay. The project is located in southeast Miami-Dade County and incorporates the Deering Estate, the Cutler Wetlands, and the L31E Flowey Canal.
Project has 3 components: Deering Estate component, Cutler Wetland Flowway, and L31E Flowway. We are able to divert the water in form of sheet flow right now, and we have improved the condition in a tidal wetland and near shore of Biscayne Bay.
But the project's benefits go even further.
This fresh water coming into the wetlands will help mitigate the intrusion of salt water, and in particular with the rising sea levels, it will help mitigate the impact of storm surges and sea level rise.
The success of this project paves the way for future initiatives that will help protect Florida in the face of climate change and rising seas. Sam Marsh for Bayview News.
What a great initiative. Everyone should find some time to volunteer.
I couldn't agree more. And when we come back, find out why some folks are forced to find an additional source of income as Bayview News continues.
Wow, somebody's all dressed up. You got an interview today?
And hopefully more than one.
The Career Fair is FIU's premier way for students to network with over 150 employers. Over the course of 2 days, they will be there to interview and hire for various jobs and internships. All majors are welcome. Make sure to claim your account on Handshake ahead of time so you can see who will be there recruiting. Your next opportunity awaits at the Career Fair.
Welcome back to Bayview News. New buildings in Coral Gables are competing with the city's traditional Spanish architecture. Chelsea Perez reports on the community's concern.
Over a century ago, George Merrick planned a Mediterranean fantasy city, and today that vision is undergoing drastic changes. No one visiting Coral Gables can miss the numerous cranes in the downtown area and commercial corridors of South Dixie Highway and Lejeune Road.
So I think the whole new constructions and models that are coming to the Gables, it's going to make the Gables look nicer. However, if you see the architecture of Coral Gables, it does assembles like the old town of Spain, and now bringing sophisticated construction into Gables is changing a little bit the perspective of how Coral Gables is trying to portray for the past years.
According to the Coral Gables Residents Forum, people are very concerned about the future of the city. Marcela Garcia Bonini commented, "I am so upset and angry at these so-called developments. What are they thinking? The area is already overpopulated and the traffic gets worse by the day. For us living in High Pines, getting north on US 1 is a daily nightmare. It's beyond ridiculous and mindless. When will they plan something to actually improve our living conditions instead of making them worse?"
Y Coral Gables es una ciudad dentro de otra, que en un momento y al principio era la más residencial, cosa que no lo es ahora. Entonces ahora resulta un poco pequeña para ese proyecto tan grande.
In recent days, we reached out to the assistant director of the city of Coral Gables, asking him to respond to the criticism, and we have yet to hear back from him. Reporting for Bayview News, Chelsea Perez.
The rising cost of rent in Miami is forcing many people to take on more than one job. Emily Ruiz has more.
Because of the high rents in Miami, many people are forced to work more than 40 hours a week and often at 2 jobs. Samantha Vargas is one of the residents affected by this situation. She's currently living with her family as a part-time student and has 2 jobs that help her pay rent.
I have 2 jobs because the earnings are not enough for me to rent something for myself. Normally, people here earn between $1,300 and $1,500. Even if you earn $2,000, that is already an income that covers just the apartment. But apart from that, you have to buy food, you have to have a car. If you don't have a washer and dryer in your house, you have to go to a laundry. So a single job that pays you $8.50 an hour is absolutely useless.
According to the National Low Income Housing Coalition, a person making $8.46 minimum wage in Florida will have to work 87 hours a week to afford a modest one-bedroom place at a fair market rent.
The market is being saturated, and I think that what's happening is that the salaries are not raising enough, but I think that the rents are raising up.
The Global Non-Bio database says that expenses for a family of 4 plus rent is about $3,667 per month.
We are 4 people, and with everything and that, each person has to make a greater effort to be able to live decently. What logic or meaning does that have?
The population continues to grow in Miami, so the higher the demand for rentals, the higher the prices. This is Emily Ruiz reporting for Bayview News.
An organization here in Miami offers the only all-inclusive music program in the nation to the blind and visually impaired. Shristi Jaswal gives us more insight.
Miami Lighthouse for the Blind teaches music to visually impaired adults and children, like how to play musical instruments.
I like to play bass because that was my natural talent. It's about not just remembering, like it's remembering the notes, but it's not all about remembering. It's about where there are. And you don't need vision just to play the bass.
Students rely on the sound of the music to work in the music production.
If you want to apply yourself, like I said, you have to commit and you have to stay focused. What you have to have is a good memory.
Music for some students is not just their activity, but their passion. It helps them let go and be themselves.
He's a lot more fluid now. Before he would stop, as you can see the first time he played, he would stop, but now he learns to be more fluid, the pedal and everything that he plays. Music is literally his thing. He loves watching movies that has music in it. Like we went to go see Lion King and he sung all the songs. Like he just loves music. When he played, I know he feels good when he plays the piano because he smiles a lot and he rocks back and forth when he's excited. He's learned to like control himself and then listen and then do it because he plays off ear. You play it once for him and he can play it back to you. Not perfectly, but he can play it. And then with much practice, bam, he has it like 2-3 times he plays it, he can do it. That's the best part of him, that he plays off the ear.
You don't need to have sight to be creative. The music program at Miami Lighthouse for the Blind offers art, music, and other programs to all ages, which helps them achieve their goals and dreams in the real world. This is Shrishti Jaiswal reporting for Bayview News.
Wow, those students are so inspiring.
Yes, what an amazing music program. And when we come back, FIU is in the news.
Welcome back. Student debt continues to be a problem for university students. It's no secret that the U.S. is in the midst of a student debt crisis, but here in Florida, student debt has skyrocketed a near 40%, putting millions of students at an average of $35,000 in debt. Many students say that living costs, university fees, and tuition costs are to blame for the rising debt.
I owe $150,000 in student debt, and although, yes, I don't have to necessarily pay right away after school, and like suppose it's technically 6 months after, some students don't have that time. Some students do, but regardless, the first payment is something that's gonna literally hurt me in the end because that's the most expensive one.
So why are students in Florida facing so much debt? Many think that a lack of loan education is the cause.
Because I think a lot of times they don't understand the financial aid process, and just because we offer them X amount of dollars, they feel like they have to take the whole thing, which is not actually the case. They can actually reduce the amount that they receive to what they actually need.
For students, avoiding loans altogether may be the only solution.
My advice to students would be not to borrow if they don't have to, and definitely always apply for scholarships. There are lots of scholarships out there. Oftentimes they're not awarded, or students don't apply for them, so they go unclaimed. So I always recommend that students go on Academic Works and apply for anything that they think that they may qualify.
Florida International University is putting students on the fast track to earn a master's degree. Brandon Hewler educates us on this process.
The rise in students attending colleges and universities has increased significantly over the years, many of which only leave with a bachelor's degree. For many jobs in today's industry, the workforce requires that extra push, such as obtaining a master's degree.
What's happening is those people who are hiring have lots of bachelor's degrees. And bachelor's degrees are like the old high school education. It's here, but it's not going to catch the employer's attention. It's not going to say to the employer, okay, this person is special. This person is someone who goes above and beyond.
Despite all of this, many schools have started giving students an easier route to have the ability to graduate with their bachelor's and master's for cheaper and in a shorter period of time.
And what the 4+1 program is the opportunity for students at Florida International University who are undergraduates who have between 70 and 92 credits to go into basically a pseudo-graduate program. We need to tell students in their freshman years that this opportunity exists, and they need to start thinking about how they're going to apply this opportunity to their overall career and academic goals.
When I found out about the 4+1 program as a sophomore, transitioning or transferring to FIU as a junior was honestly the best decision I ever made, because I know that after getting my bachelor's degree, going into my master's would be very easy and I would save a lot of money.
But what happens when an employer looks at a student's degree program and looks what they've done and says, oh, this student, this person, while they were an undergraduate, started taking graduate classes and then transitioned fully into a graduate degree program and completed their graduate degree like that. That's somebody who's ambitious, who can complete, who can succeed. That's what a 4+1 degree program does.
In the end, 4+1 programs offer students the ability to obtain 2 degrees more efficiently. Reporting for Bayview News, I'm Brandon Hyler.
Colin, what if I told you you could look just as sharp at a fraction of the cost and be environmentally friendly?
I'm all in. How do you do it?
Amanda Brazil gives us more for less.
Are your pockets tired from your expensive taste in fashion? Maybe it's time you gave your wallet a break, put your creativity to the test, and explore the world of thrift store fashion. Now I know what you're thinking. Moi, in a thrift shop? What if someone spots me? But once you put your ego on the back burner, you'll realize that not only can you get high quality at the fraction of the cost, but what good you're doing for the community. Thrift store fashion is the ultimate cost-effective fashion trend and a fantastic way to discover your individual style for an affordable price. In South Florida, you can find a lot of Goodwill thrift stores which sell coats, shirts, shoes, jewelry, house and home decor, books, and the list goes on. It's a one-stop shop for all your needs, so if you find a nice top and jeans, you can also pick up some shades, a hat, or shoes to match. They even color code their items, which make them available at discounted prices on a daily basis. This makes shopping easier for their customers while improving your overall experience. Another popular South Florida thrift store is the famous Out of the Closet, known as the best kept secret in town. 96 cents of every dollar earned goes to the HIV and AIDS services provided by AIDS Health Foundation. They also offer free HIV/AIDS health screenings as well as contraceptives at their location, so you can shop, be fabulous, And be safe by getting tested, all in one. Out of the Closet also sells furniture. It's definitely quality looking items for price worth every dollar. Can you say chic? To the untrained eye, thrift stores might not look like much at first glance, but a treasure is not worth much if it's easy to find. So whatever new look you're hoping to pull off this year, your local thrift store has got you covered.
Looks like we might have to stop by some thrift stores soon.
Yeah, it's wonderful to see how much variety they have and how much they do for our communities. But we're not done yet. Bayview News continues after this.
Wow, somebody's all dressed up. You got an interview today?
And hopefully more than one.
The Career Fair is FIU's premier way for students to network with over 150 employers. Over the course of 2 days, they will be there to interview and hire for various jobs and internships. All majors are welcome. Make sure to claim your account on Handshake ahead of time so you can see who will be there recruiting. Your next opportunity awaits at the Career Fair.
Zoo Miami is acting as a beacon of hope through Australia's devastating wildfires. Why? Because of baby hope. For the first time in over 28 years, a surviving koala has been born at the zoo, finally emerging amidst the catastrophic wildfires in Australia.
Hope represents a lot for his species, not only because we haven't had a koala joey in a long time, but because it just happens to be at this critical time that's happening in Australia.
500 million animals are estimated to have died as a result of the raging wildfires. The koala joey was named Hope by the Zoo Miami staff in honor of the animals that have perished in the events that coincided with the baby's arrival. The zoo also donated $10,000 to the relief efforts and connected the miraculous birth to a fundraising campaign that has become a symbolic reminder of the help needed in Australia.
And now I'm getting, especially on the weekends, heavy groups of people coming up and asking and wanting to know more about koalas. The fact that this horrible event is happening, it's been a really emotional roller coaster, but it also is great because we do get to educate everybody about it. Sorry.
To donate to the Zoo Miami Foundation, visit www.zoomiami.org/donate and specify Australia in the memo.
Billboard magazine once called Lee Levin Miami's most in-demand drummer. The man pounding away on the drum set is Lee Levin. He is a Grammy Award-winning drummer, engineer, and producer in Miami who has toured and recorded with a variety of notable artists.
I've toured most recently with Barry Gibb from the Bee Gees. I've toured with John Cicada. I've toured with Julio Iglesias. I've toured with mostly Latin artists because living in South Florida, that's what's here.
Along with making music, Levin also enjoys giving back to his community through multiple avenues. These include working with Music Cares, an arm of the Recording Academy, which is the organization that is in charge of the Grammys.
We were buying people instruments and making sure that people were taken care of, and if somebody gets cancer or something like that and they can't make their mortgage payment, all they have to do is reach out to Music Cares, and it's very quick, and so we've been able to help a lot of people that way.
Levin also volunteers at West Broward High School, where he lends his audio expertise to the drama club, where his son takes part in multiple productions.
I know that there's not a lot of money in the public school system, and being able to help not only the sound in the theater be better for the audience, but also some of the students that are working with the audio program at the school, helping them to learn information that I picked up along the way.
With giving back to his community, Levin hopes to pass on his knowledge and experience to the younger generation.
I've always been one of those people that, if you have some information to share, especially if it's with younger people, I feel like it's our obligation as professionals to make sure that the next generation or next 2 generations that are coming up learn from either the mistakes that we've made or the information that we have.
Colin, do you take selfies?
Well, just as much as everyone else.
Do you know the best places in Miami to take selfies?
No, but I bet Michelle Shear does.
Miami, Florida is one of the most unique cities in the United States that emphasizes on combining culture, beauty, and art. The city is filled with iconic spots like Wynwood, the Design District, Miami Beach, and more. Land developers and business owners have gentrified these once simple neighborhoods into some of the hottest destinations in the city. Let's go on a quick tour of the 305. First stop, the Wynwood Arts District, an outdoor graffiti art museum. Tourists and locals experience so much cultural fusion with unique dining experiences. Here you can find anything from Barbie murals to insanely intricate street art. If you didn't stop for a photo op at Wynwood Walls, did you really go to Miami? Miami Beach. While it might be an absolute nightmare to drive through, it is the mecca of the Art Deco nightclub district. The main street, Ocean Drive, was once the designated spot for nightlife. Here you'll find buildings with vibrant pastel colors and one of the most famous beaches in the world, made perfect to experience with friends and family. Our final destination is the Design District, the Rodeo Drive of Miami. Home to luxury shopping and fine dining, you might just end up sticking to window shopping if you don't want to burn a hole in your pocket. Design District is the designated location to buy yourself a $20 coffee at Dior Cafe just to get the perfect picture. Next time you find yourself in one of these spots, make sure your camera is fully charged to document this one-of-a-kind experience in Miami.
Those are some pretty picturesque spots, but I'm still not paying $20 for a cup of coffee.
Me neither. That's all the time we have for today. I'm Isabella Ojeda.
And I'm Colin Miller. Thanks for watching Bayview News.